This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Want to know another Snapple fact? The first hot air balloon passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Ridiculous. Check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavored Snapple near you.
What's up, everybody? You know what it is? You know who it is? Do you know? Because there might be two of us.
Do you know where you're going to? Because I don't, Mahogany.
There might be two of us. It's ImmaLetYouFinish, show number 191 on the Pantheon Podcast Network. And guess who's back?
I'm back!
The Lady Ames. She is back from Roberta Flackistan.
Okay, literally.
And we are really...
Okay. I called Courtney this morning at 6 in the morning, Uzbekistan time, which is like, I don't know. I knew you would be up. And when he said that to me, I basically spit out my food, which, you know, in some countries is not viewed as being a polite thing to do. Yes, I'm back from the first time ever I saw your face, Uzbekistan. Yes.
So tell me, how was it?
It was beautiful. It's a beautiful country. The people are lovely. If you speak English, they want to make you the queen of the country, and they have their children pose. I'm serious. They like, may my child stand next to you and take picture? And I'm like, I'm not anybody, but sure. And the only other Americans I met there were over there teaching English. It's a big racket. And it's beautiful, and the people are lovely. It's a terrible place to be a vegetarian. If you're a vegan, you might as well die on the side of the road. But it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, 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 and kind people, and hot as hell, but it's okay, and dirt cheap, like scary cheap, but beautiful, just absolutely beautiful, and worth the incredibly long plane ride. So, and I convinced two people in the airport at Tashkent to sign up for our oh, you want to hear something funny? Okay, so you know, when I said something about WhatsApp, and you know, they all use Telegram. They don't even know what FaceTime or anything else is. They use Telegram, and they go, "Don't you use Telegram?" I went, "No, Telegram in the United States is what we think terrorists use." Okay, like we don't use Telegram in the United States.
Even though, like, I feel like I have Telegram, I've never used it.
No,
I have Signal, I've never used it. Because still, most of my friends who are around the world, like I have a friend who's in Iraq. He's stationed in Iraq, and he uses WhatsApp. I have different friends when they're traveling outside of the country, always hit me on WhatsApp. Yeah,
Telegram seems to be very specific to everywhere but the United States, because everyone uses it. When you say FaceTime, they don't know what you're talking about. When you say WhatsApp, they don't use that. They all use Telegram. But yeah, and the one thing I did learn there, and this is not just there, they do this throughout that region. People will come up to you and say, "How old are you?" And I'm like, "You're not supposed to ask people how old they are." In the United States, in New York City, you can ask somebody how much rent they pay and how much they make, but you can't ask them how old they are.
Which is such a weird thing, right? That's really true. People get very weird about that one. But you can be like, "How much is your apartment?" They'll be like, "Oh, it's $5,700 a month."
Tell me how old I am. So, but it was lovely. Everybody, it was really lovely, and I met some great people, and weaseled my way into a concert. I think I told you about that. That was fun. Saw music. And ate a lot of bread and a lot of cake and a lot of delicious fresh cherries. It's cherry season there now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, beautiful. So, and I'm going to sneeze. And I got in this morning. Today's Tuesday. I've been up since 4. I've been up since 4. I slept a little bit on the plane. And I'm exhausted. This is my 4th coffee in the last hour.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yay. Came home. You'll love this. Came home and I'm like, all right, the house is filled with cat fur and the cats are pissed at me. I got to watch the last episode of Hacks. I heard it's incredible. I'm like, haven't seen TV in 2 weeks. Everything in Russian. Don't understand. So anyway, Yay, happy Pride. Yeah, I didn't bring that up much over there either.
Yeah, it's Pride Month. It's our 5th anniversary.
I know it is. What do we buy ourselves for our 5th anniversary?
We still get to do this, motherfucker. How about that?
Oh, yeah. Yay!
Let's kick it off. What's our first topic?
Oh, wait. Let me look. Oh, okay. I haven't had a chance. By the way, I just want to let you know how we all think that America pop culture rules the world? Newsflash, in some countries, I was just in one of them, they have no idea what you're fucking talking about. When you start throwing out the biggest names in the world, they're like, who's that? Who's that? Selena Gomez. They know Selena Gomez.
Why?
And I don't know. Everybody I talk to, they really love her. They don't listen to the hippity hop. They don't listen to any of this stuff. They listen to their own music. And so it's interesting. We do not really rule the world as much as we think. Okay. We have discussed the Beyonce, the strange strategy that the people around Beyonce seem to be having with some of her music, right? We've discussed this. And I don't think I've seen a record this year get the kind of critical acclaim. Maybe the Billie Eilish record has gotten as good press as Cowboy Carter, right?
She got reviews and stuff, but the Beyonce album spawned think pieces,
right? Essays,
it was like it became a whole other thing.
Specials, yeah. TV specials, and stamps and everything. Okay, so the parades in a whole month. There's going to be Beyonce, everything. So the thing is that I feel like Beyonce seems to think that all she has to do is be a topic of conversation, and that's enough. Like, if you're trying to break into the country market, which we agree is probably the most insular market out of any market of any type of music, right?
Absolutely.
If you're a Black female pop star, R&B star with a rapper husband, and you've decided that you want to make a foray into Americana country, whatever the hell you want to call it, but go outside of your lane and you want to court the country audience and you don't do anything, you have to go shake hands and show up at conventions and pose for pictures. And they've just decided not to do anything, right? And according to that article, they've decided just go, okay. There's I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if her intention was to break into that market, I think she intended to make this sort of record, but. To your point, so you put out the 2 singles, and I was really surprised it wasn't a visual component. Okay, cool. Okay, so then we go through supposedly the next focus track, because I still get all of those promo singles that I'm on download list. Was supposed to be the next one I got was Most Wanted, the duet with her and Miley Cyrus. I'm thinking,
that's what you said was going to be the next one.
Maybe this will have a visual. Maybe this will have something to it. But then. Nothing. So, and the thing about country is you can't just give them a record and not be performing, not doing something.
You can't just go, I'm Beyonce, you should be grateful I'm performing. That's
even
the way
with pop,
started,
right? The place where she just had a big hit, and even though she had a hit of country, and Most Wanted is a great song. You thought, this could have done it, even though I think Bodyguard should have been the focus track.
Oh my God. Like, really?
Summer.
Like, Bodyguard.
Summer.
Hello.
Summer.
It's the top down driving the highway song.
It's the moment. I was like, why isn't that the one? But even still, even with Top 40, it's like, what is there to support this?
There's nothing. I don't get, it's, I am not like as in tune or as locked in with the whole marketing, that's your lane, but I'm not stupid. I do understand that you just can't say something's here, come find it.
Right.
And then what it's doing though, is setting up this dynamic now where we're going to come around to Grammy time, and it's going to be Grammy nomination time. And yes, this album would deserve a Grammy nomination, but you can't keep pissing off the people and ignoring the people. You know what I mean? You can't keep saying you want something and just think you're going to get it because you're talented, because lots of people are talented.
Well, the thing that's weird to me is, let me rephrase
she's doing this forever.
Let me finish this thought. Because I think that what what I don't understand is we get to the album cycle, right? And there's usually a plan, and that's when artists usually go to work.
Right.
And it feels a little bit like I made the album, that was the work part.
Right, I'm gone.
And I'm like, you don't want to make a music video again anymore? Okay, cool. But how about make a return to a really impactful TV show performance? How about sit down and do a great interview with someone? Let the people, I think it needs to humanize a little bit. It's why I absolutely believe that she has a problem selling products to people, because now the energy of a Beyonce is so big that she doesn't seem relatable. So when you try to turn to people and say, I've got this hair product for you, I've got this thing, and it's like, or the perfume, right? Or the clothes, it feels like, but we don't feel like we get to be attainable to whatever that is you are.
And part of is, part of anything with famous people is aspirational. We know
Absolutely.
We're not going to really be that, but it's just so weird because this is not a stupid woman. She doesn't have stupid people around, but she's been doing this since she came out of the womb, for crying out loud. She has a position of power unlike any other woman in the industry. It would be her and Taylor Swift have the position of power. Really. But it seems like Beyonce either doesn't want to play the game or feels like she shouldn't have to play the game. But you have to play the game, especially if you're trying to do something. For her to now suddenly say, it wasn't a country. It was marketed as her foray into country.
It was.
And now that it has failed at country, they're saying, we never said it was a country record.
Well, did it fail? I'm not going to say it failed at country, right? Because she had the number one.
She did. Okay,
she did something.
You're right.
I'm not going to say it failed at something. It just feels like it didn't reach its full potential on both sides, at top 40 or country, because there's nothing to support it. So many records have been coming that people are out there, they're hustling and working. You know what I mean? It's like poor Dua Lipa, she was doing everything but standing under the George Washington Bridge trying to get people.
I saw her standing. Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to do the thing. You have to, Billie
Eilish sits down for interviews with Stephen Colbert and performs.
I get that she doesn't want to do a whole slate and all the things, but you know what? Come and do something. Let people relate to you again. I will just say this. She was always a person who worked really hard when she put out records. Right. So this new version of I'm not going on a full trail.
No, I understand that.
Would it kill? I think that radio still has supported you. It would not kill you to come back to them and do a couple of interviews on the radio. People, when she did that Verizon commercial, I think the thing that shocked people the most was they hadn't heard her voice in years. I have friends who said to me oh shit, I realized in that commercial, her talking, I hadn't seen her sit down and talk with anybody. I forgot what she sounded like. I haven't heard her talk in years.
She's done one interview for this. She's done one interview that I know for Essence.
And that was for the hairline. That wasn't even about the album.
Right. I just don't understand it. It's and again, it's going to set up this scenario that when we come around to Grammy time, and then it's going to be this is and I'm not saying that the person who hustles the hardest should get album of the year. It should be about talent, but we all know it's also about politics.
Yeah.
And it's she seems to be going out of her way to say, it's just a bad look. I don't get it because I just don't understand it. And you know what? And she's reaching an expiration date. This is a reality. She's a woman. She's hitting her mid-40s soon. Is she?
She's 42, I believe.
All right, that's mid-40s. By music industry, that's mid-40s. But the point is that, and she just came off a huge tour. I'm not this, but where is this? What's the next? You have to give people something. We need to see, give me a video, something. I mean, just so that you have it lingering in your head. That Espresso song, is that a great song? No, not great, but it's all over the place, and you and you want to be able to Billie Eilish is winning this game right now because she's incredibly talented.
Well, she's younger and newer. She's still at record 3. At record 3, Beyonce was working her ass off.
Right, but what I'm saying is that but she's also she's also doing that thing where she's being an artist with an artiste.
Yes.
And she's being a performer. And you have to do both. You can't just decide that you're going to be an artist and then go, I will be my artist now and not do anything else. I mean, it's just weird to me because this is a smart person. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. So country radio is like, yeah, okay, great, thanks.
And seemingly pop, right? Because I don't, I have a radio that I keep on in the bathroom, and I was hearing Texas Hold'em a lot when it was the moment.
It was out.
I was hearing it a lot. I don't hear it anymore now.
I don't hear anybody.
And they play her in rotation. Today I heard like Single Ladies and Crazy in Love.
But is anybody talking about the album?
No, not anymore.
Not really.
No, not anymore.
I mean, the thing is that do you want to have events or do you want to have music? And it feels like this is something going for an event, and which is great. Like, do you want to make a conversation or do you want to make... She started a conversation. That's amazing. Now, continue the conversation. Just don't have the conversation and then go, okay, I started a conversation. I'm leaving the room now.
Right.
And then we're like, but wait, I want to continue having this conversation. I mean, how dope would it be if she did a tour and put those women as her opening acts? How fucking dope would that be?
That would have been
But
amazing.
it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. But it would be amazing if she.
I just hate that I feel like there's so much potential on that album. And it makes it feel like it underperformed with having focus tracks that really could be and bring it back into the conversation, Well,
like in that article that I posted, I think I posted it.
You did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Correct me. I can't remember the guy's name, but one of the guys who's on the record with her is having a hit single.
Shabuzi. Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, like, there's the Beyonce effect. So why don't you save some of that stardust for yourself? It's really, really weird. And I don't want it to come around to Grammy time and it turns into this really of unnecessary argument.
Understand that's the conversation.
That's where we're going.
Because it will absolutely come in with a shitload of deserved. Well, first it's going to. Okay, this is how I predict this conversation.
Please wait, Nostradamus.
Because if she does not get any nominations in the country category, people are going to act like it's how dare you? She had the first Black woman to have a number one country. So there's going to be the conversation around. If she does, is it historic? Even though the Black group has won a country Grammy, the Pointer Sisters won a country Grammy for Fairy Tale. But they'll talk about that as, they'll frame it first single Black woman if she wins, because I believe Mickey Guyton has been nominated for Grammys.
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
Then if she gets they're going to want a country album nod. And they're absolutely going to want the album of the year nod.
Oh, for sure. They're going to want a country album nod, an album of the year nod, and a pop album nod, probably. Yeah, they're going to want all the categories. Mm-hmm. This is the one year she can't.
And we're going to get all
This
of
is the one year she can't get a dance nod. She'll have to. She's screwed herself out of that dance remix nod. But you know what? It's so far been. The Taylor Swift record has actually gotten the worst reviews out of all the big heavy hitters,
and it's still number one.
It's still right.
6 weeks in.
So you can rant and rave and scream and yell about Taylor Swift, and we do. But for Christ's sakes, you can't keep saying. We all know it's more than talent. I just don't get it. Yeah, but it's not going to be a pretty time. Come Grammy time, it's going to be ugly. I may have to hide as a white woman. I may have to hide. I'm just letting you know. It's gonna.
Here come all the think pieces again.
Everybody's
thinking.
All the thinking.
They're all thinking. So much thinking.
So much thinking.
So much thinking.
So much thinking, and so much. Certain people we know getting on horses that are way too high for them. So high, these horses, and they are going to go. Whee! You know what she should do? She needs to go on Club Shay Shay. That's what
she needs. Oh Lord, could you imagine?
Oh my God. Oh, by the way, I've been away. The Celtics have won the playoffs, the championship. They've won, right? Basically.
No, well, they've won the first 2 games. Now we move to Dallas.
Okay, that fucking Djokovic is such a little bitch, man. I swear to God. I mean, I hate the Celtics, but he is such a whiny little, like, it's like, oh, you're playing basketball on me. Stop playing basketball on me. I am from Serbia. Don't hurt me.
Djokovic is the Finnish player who's had to drop out of the French Open, Roland Garros, and
him. I hate them all. All.
Except you keep going to those regions of the world.
No. Serbia and Albania. No, but I'm saying the basketball player, he's a whiny little, what was it? I am the greatest white basketball player since Larry Bird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, first off, that's a small list of people. Anyway, go. I'm not rooting for anybody because I hate the Celtics, and this guy is whining too much for my liking.
Yeah.
He's whining. There should be no whining and flopping. Whining and flopping.
That's how I feel about the way the media is acting with now the Caitlin Clark and the WNBA and the Olympics. Yeah. It's really ridiculous. Yeah. It's like, listen, women compete, and they compete hard. They're athletes. They're top athletes. We need to stop acting like you have to create a war between women. It's really ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And hearing all of these men, and they're getting all angry and red, and you should have chosen her for the Olympic team because of marketing.
She can wait. Okay, first off,
right.
She can wait.
To scream over marketing. I was like, is that what we're doing? So have you reduced the women to needing the marketing that bad that you say?
She can. First off, she can wait. Secondly, I just read this article, this thing on CNN, the pros and cons, and they said she's actually not having like such an easy entry into the WNBA. No. She's getting knocked around a lot. She's a lot smaller than we think. That maybe
but she's doing great. You know,
she's doing really good. But you let her do her WNBA thing, and she's like what, 20? She
21. She's going to be fine.
I mean, she'll be fine.
She's excellent. They're all excellent. They are athletes. Women are not silly putty. They can handle some fouls and roughness. We need to stop talking about these ladies.
We'll stop calling them ladies. That would be the first thing.
What would you like me to call them?
Women.
I'm sorry. What is wrong with ladies?
Because ladies and gentlemen are
okay, no, we're not doing that today. We're not.
A lady doesn't play basketball.
I am not doing that with you today.
A lady.
I'm not doing that with you. You know, I am not doing that with you today. It's like
you have to play basketball.
I know you were in Roberta Flackistan having a good time, but I'm going to need you to calm down.
My next goal is to have women's sports where they don't have to wear hot pants all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, why do the women have to run in their underwear and the men get to run in shorts?
Can I just say, I want to send a shout out to the city of New Orleans. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah. Really. Okay.
And the number one city in the United States that listens to our show.
Oh, shut up.
Is New Orleans.
Really?
And then the next city is.
I found this on the web for the
what? Why is Siri? I'm sorry. I'm in here talking. Why is my phone Siri, who I have turned off to not just speak? I'm talking to you on the show, and all of a sudden Miss Siri is like, boom, yeah, New Orleans. I've looked it up. I'm like, I didn't ask you anything.
Well, you have a very.
And the next city is Houghton. Houghton, Louisiana.
Is that a prison there?
Do we have prison fans?
I think we probably have prison. I used to have prison fans. I used to get letters from prisoners.
New York and Brooklyn are number 4 and 5.
Well, we're going to have 2 in Uzbekistan very soon.
But anyway, yeah. Hey, New Orleans.
Hey.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I feel like when we do our first live show, we have to do it in New Orleans.
Okay. No, sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, nobody's going to concerts. You know why nobody's going to concerts? I'm going to answer here. Ask me why nobody's going to concerts. Ask me. I'm dying to answer this. Ask me.
Hey, Ames, I was wondering, why isn't anybody going over to the concerts anymore?
Because the rent is too damn high.
It's like, fun fact. They're like, last year we had a record year. Yeah, you did. And everybody put all of those ridiculously expensive tickets on their credit cards. So this year, when you're coming around with all of these acts, fun fact, eventually, for all of the shows you've gone to last year, you kind of have to start paying for them this year on those same credit cards.
At a higher interest rate.
It's like every show should not be hundreds to thousands of dollars. It has gotten ridiculous. The whole platinum pricing thing. Yeah. I have a friend who was looking, he's like, oh God, Cyndi Lauper's coming. I want to go to this final tour. He was looking at seats in the garden, and the seats that he saw that he wanted, it's like, look, it's $1,000 for this ticket. And we love Cyndi, but I was like, that's crazy. It is crazy that he wanted to see Sarah McLachlan. She was doing the Fumbling Through Ecstasy tour, 30th anniversary, sold out show at Radio City. Every time he looked at tickets, it was like $800, $1,200. For Sarah McLachlan, it's like, what are we doing?
Well, this is the monopoly. Again, this is Ticketmaster. This is this collusion and monopoly. It's, the COVID excuse doesn't work anymore. Nope. And I think what's happening, though, because, I always sit there and like little Miss Marxist me is like, don't buy them then. Don't buy them. Well, I think that's what's happening. And I think all of a sudden the industry is going, oh, shit, people aren't going to be little sheep and spend tons of money on shows. Maybe we better rethink our whole game plan here.
And you remember how Live Nation patted itself on the back when they got the reports from 2023, how many tickets they sold, how many people went to shows, and how much money they made. They made $1 gazillion. Right. And it's like, yeah, you did. But there comes a point when after people have paid for, in the last 2 years, we've had Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Madonna, all of the big acts, The Weeknd, Drake has been out there. Bad Bunny, like everybody. And the tickets have been hundreds to thousands of dollars. There comes a point where you're like, people coming back around, you're like, yeah, I want to see this, but you know what? I can't spend that kind of money again.
Well, I think it's coming around, and also just because the festivals are so boring. I mean, how many times do you want to see Lana Del Rey do Lana? I mean, she's on. We've talked about that, but I think that this may be the breaking point. I mean, I think that finally. I mean, look, the Taylor Swift situation. I mean, that it's cheaper to fly to Sweden to see her.
People were flying to Europe,
but that's what I'm saying. It's cheaper to see her there.
To go to. I know somebody who flew to France because it was cheaper to go to France.
They have limits there, but because that's the thing, because it's like everything else, they have it's control.
Well, you want to know why? Also, you go to all of those countries in Europe, they don't have the salaries like these American salaries, right? It's like where you can just say, I'll just spend $1,000 on a ticket.
Yeah, but sorry, the cat just jumped at me. It's because they have controls. Their governments control how much you can charge for things. That's what it is. It's not the salaries, because people make money in Europe.
No, people do make money, but not the way that you see, because there's different prices in different territories. And I know this from working on tours. You know what I mean? You're going to places where, like, I've spoken to all my friends in Europe. They're like, nobody here would pay it's the average people don't make the type of money where they're going to pay $1,200 for one concert, for one ticket. You know what I mean? That's
we've been trained to do stupid crap. Like, well, this kind of leads into my vacation was ruined by finding out that the Black Keys have canceled their tour and then fired their manager. I mean, thanks a lot, Black Keys, whatever your names are.
And that was a fully terrible situation, right? Because that's another thing that's really damaging, putting these artists in these venues that they can't fill. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago on the show. It's like so many bad decisions and decisions being made out of greed that's going on.
I want to defend it. Okay, I read something today. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, but these guys are not babes in the woods. They have been a touring professional act for decades. Nobody put these guys. They knew they're not stupid guys. They're recording artists. They're producers. They've been around. So I see your point. I agree.
But how it comes when you're presented with the tour, because I've been a part of this, is they come to you. They're like, we want to offer you an arena tour, right? Thinking, no, we've done the things, we crunched the numbers, we know that you can fill these rooms. And so taking that leap, with them, that seemed like somebody in the band should have been like, are we sure about this?
Well, maybe 10 years ago when they had a hit single, When's the
Right.
last time they had a hit? They had one hit.
It was like 11 years ago. It was a long time ago.
They had one hit, and
I want to say the last album might have underperformed.
Yeah. So, I mean, suddenly you're like, we haven't, they're not a legacy act. They're not, they are a millennial, or not even a millennial act. They're a Gen X act. But and you've already seen them, and they don't have do they have a new album out? I mean, what are they
have one coming, I think. But here's but I think,
and they don't even get, they don't even like get along with each other. They're not really.
Yeah, with that part, there's a lot of bands.
No, but what I'm saying is that there's been a tremendous amount of bad press around them in terms of their animosity and their fights with Jack White and, all this stuff. So what are they selling?
Yeah, but people don't care about that when it comes to, listen, they had Azoff, right, who they fired. So if they had Azoff, they really must have convinced them, no, this is going to work. That's what I believe, right? Because this just seems like there was a lot of smart people involved in this decision.
But I think there's a lot of ego too, and I think that the manager tells the band, "You guys can sell out the Garden." Not now they can't. Maybe they could have sold out the Garden 10 years ago. I think they did sell out the Garden 10 years ago, but not now. Not in 2024 in this market without a hit. They don't name me a Black Keys song. That one song that everybody liked.
That every time you talk about them, you don't even name the song, and I'm like, I don't know the song. You're always like, that one song.
That one song. I don't know. Everybody liked it. For like a hot minute, they were like the group that like all my Black friends were like, oh, I love Black Keys. I go, why? Because the word black is in it? Like, there's that one song that was like popular, and then it's like, they're not as, it's like Black Keys, White Stripes. I get very confused between the two of them. I know, I mean, they're not a bad band. They're not my favorite band in the world. But what I'm saying is that it's not just, I think there's an ego involved. I think people feel like we haven't toured in a while. We're going to make you feel good. Oh, look, you're so famous. You can fill out this thing. These are not dummies. They're just, these guys are smart. They run their own labels. Black Keys, they have their own label. They have their own production companies. So
again, it feels like
they're getting gassed up.
It feels like a lot of smart people who made bad decisions. But you know what? We're going to make a good decision.
Yay.
And we're going to take a break and be right back.
Yay.
And we're back.
We're back. All right. Wait, what's next on YouTube? Let me tell you something. I did not know this. You know this. I think you've told me this. But Rhianna is like one of the top 10 selling artists of all time.
Yep.
Not Beyonce.
Well, Beyonce is as well.
No, she's had more. But what I mean is that Beyonce gets all the, meanwhile, Rihanna is like the little engine that could. And hasn't put out a record since when? Like the first Obama administration?
I want to say Auntie was 2016.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And if you can read her T-shirt last week that she was wearing, she's never going to put another record out.
Well, no, last night at her beauty event, because she's launched a hair care line.
See, I would buy her hair care product.
Everybody says that.
No, I would buy her.
And it is for every hair type.
I would buy hers in a
heartbeat. And it all has, even all my queens are all like
in a heart. I would buy her. I would buy that underwear. I would buy anything that bitch puts out.
They're like, I'm gonna buy. Okay, so at the event, she did an interview on the red carpet, and what she said was, I'm not retired from music. She was like, that was just a thing. She was like, she said, she's now serious about the studio and she's taking it seriously and she's going in. She was like, I feel music feels like the fresh thing now. And it feels fresh. She was like, now I had a bunch of music. And she said, and I'm going to go back and listen to some of that to see if there's anything in it that works with how I'm feeling now. But I'm actually going in to record all new stuff and I'm taking recording of the album seriously. So that's
is she making a children's record? That would be kind of cool.
No, but I'm sure she's been recording for so long. When you have music for years and years, especially as an artist, you start listening to it and what sounded fierce to you.
Oh yeah, you look over something and you go, "What was I thinking?"
Let me tell you, it's funny. Like I never go back and listen to any of the old remixes and stuff I've done. But a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting here and I was going through my old computer, and I started just I hit. I had the iTunes playing, and randomly it just started playing some of the mixes. So I started listening to some of the packages, and it's funny how I listen to some of them now, even though a lot of them were number one hit packages and did their thing. I listen to some now, I'm like, why'd you make that choice? Then I went back and I was listening to some of the ones I didn't pick, and I'm like, wow, this one's so much better. It's funny how your ears hear something different. So I can imagine somebody like her who's been recording all of that music.
Well, no, so she's a totally different person now. I mean, she started recording as a 20-something-year-old, and now she's a 30-something-year-old with 2 kids and a husband, or whatever. It might as well be a husband. Let me tell you something. I have never bought any Fenty products, so I've heard they're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I always talk about this, in terms of like my issue would be not my issue with Beyonce, but a believability factor. Mm-hmm. Everything Rhianna does feels real to me.
She just has that thing.
She dresses like a crazy person, and you sit there and you look
for it.
Everything, and you go, you know what? You put that outfit together yourself, even though you probably paid some.
You're wearing a fur coat on an 80-degree New York day.
You're wearing a fur coat with a shower curtain on your head, with galoshes, and your boyfriend is carrying your purse and a llama. And I'm like, you're walking a llama down Fifth Avenue, and I am like, and I believe you, Rhianna, that you walk around with a llama.
And now day. I want a llama, and I want a llama. Where's my llama?
I want a Fenty llama. I mean, everything she does. And we know she has stylists, obviously, but it never looks like that because she looks, it's sort of the same way with Lauryn Hill. I mean, Lauryn Hill dresses like a crazy person, and you know that Lauryn Hill decided to dress like that.
But I love it.
I love it.
I think it's so bespoke and great. I am completely
everything about
it.
Rhianna. When I see Rhianna on old talk shows, she's hilarious. Mm-hmm. She doesn't give a fuck. That's the thing. And I always feel like Beyonce's always, and Taylor Swift too, they're always looking to make sure that they're not making anybody mad or that the cameras aren't. Rhianna doesn't care about anything, which I kind of love. I kind of love that about her. She honestly, truly is like, whatever. So I think whatever she puts out, she's never put out a bad record, really. And all of her stuff has been interesting. Mm-hmm. But yes, I'm buying that hair care product. What kind of stuff is it?
It's like, hair mask, shampoo, clarifying
never used a hair
conditioner,
mask.
all that, and literally for all hair types. And it has some new thing in it that's repair. So it's repairing your hair with every use. And each of the products has that. So it's like repair. And it's literally for every hair type.
I have to say that the only downside about traveling overseas is that they have hard water over there. So whenever I come back, my hair is fried every time I come
back. That's what the West Coast feels like to me. I take a shower in LA, come out the shower, and I'm like, my skin is white.
No, my hair, ashy. There was no humidity. It was 9 million degrees, but there was no humidity. So I did have some good hair day action in terms of no frizz. I know I'm sorry guys, but we're talking about hair. But the hard water, you can't get the shampoos. But I'm here for Rhianna hair, Rhianna llamas. I want her to have a llama.
Where'd you stay?
Oh, in guest houses. Beautiful, wonderful guest houses with the most unbelievable breakfast where there was enough food for an army, and I ate all of it. And I ate all of it. I was like, what?
Everybody kept asking me what's she doing? I was like, if I know her, she's eating her way the joint.
No, I am. Well, because it is a very hard country to be a vegetarian. I'm not even kidding. It's their national dish is a meat dish. Everything is meat. So I would have these beautiful breakfasts like eggs. I had more eggs than I had, and pastries and yogurt and fresh fruit and tea and honey and raisins and nuts and baklava and all this stuff. And I would eat everything I can get my hands on because I knew I was going to be going basically all day without eating because until we had dinner or stuff like that. But yes, I was eating and walking around and meeting people and going to this show and having fun. But anyway, yeah, Rhianna, I'm there for it. What's it called? Fenty hair? Is it going to be called Fenty? She's a genius. Did anyone buy the Beyonce hair care thing? Nothing, right? It kind of...
I don't know. It feels quiet again, right? Like, I think that when you're just launching something, you just have to, I think you have to keep the campaigns and things kind of going.
I mean, from my years of watching Mad Men, I know that, from advertising.
That's the thing. That's what makes Rhianna a marketing genius with her products.
Genius.
She's not let it go. Like there's constantly something new with the makeup line. And with this hairline, I've been seeing stuff everywhere in little clips and videos. And seeing her, she's been very present in it.
And we see her hair. And she also, she
did launch it. The first thing she did, she had on this really weird Cal Brady pussycat wig, which I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. I was like, oh, okay. Then the second thing was like an ashy sort of later in life Farrah Fawcett wig.
Oh, I like that. She's personalized it. She very make herself part of it. And that's fun. I mean, I just love her. I really do. I just find her just wonderful. I feel like she would be my friend. Do you think she would be my friend or she would be mean to me?
No, I think she'd be your friend. And then you would say something being Amy.
And she'd cut me.
Exactly.
I'd have to walk away. And I find her and A$AP Rocky adorable together. Yeah. And those children are adorable.
Yeah, it's really cute. I like her family.
I like her family. They're cute and fun.
And I like the way we see them. And they're always in New York. I love that.
They're always in New York. Well, he's from New York, right? Yeah. Is he from Harlem?
Yep.
And she's always dragging him around on their llama.
And he always has her in Harlem. She'll be like up the street going to the takeout fish spot up the road from me.
Is that place on 145th still open, the fish place?
Famous Fish is still there. People still wait online. They still
go down the steps.
It is still there.
When I ate fish, I got to tell you, I went there with Sheila, our friend Sheila Jameson, and I have to say, some of the best fried fish I've ever had in my freaking life.
People still love it. It's still. We
used to go to Classic Stage Theater of Harlem, was right there, and then go across the street and have some fish, which is my favorite. Oh, it was so freaking good, that place. Dolly Parton is going to be on Broadway.
Now, if there's ever a life,
I mean, really,
that was meant for Broadway.
I mean, really.
And she's writing the book that's going to be new music and the classics that people remember.
So, like a jukebox musical sort of thing.
It's the story of her life, supposedly.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Did you read that article? Some stupid right-wing Republican wrote some article.
My God! Like, okay. I mean, it's like you have way too much free time in your hands.
Way too much.
I'm looking at everybody like we have so much fucked up shit happening.
And this is who you're going after.
You guys are worried about shit like Dolly Parton.
You're attacking Santa Claus. You're basically like you're going after Santa Claus.
You've turned this Caitlin Clark thing into like a culture war. It's like, what is wrong with everybody? It's literally like, what is wrong with everybody?
But the thing is, like, nobody doesn't like Dolly Parton.
Nobody.
I mean, literally. I mean, even if you don't like country music, she's the one person you like.
Absolutely.
Right? Even if you hate white people, she's the one person you like. Even if you hate the South, she's the one person.
It's true.
So, I mean, hating, like, it's almost like I can't
The most uncontroversial star in the world.
Ever. I can't think of anyone who has ever said anything negative about Dolly Parton except for this stupid bitch.
And it's because of her support of the gay, lesbian, trans.
Right, that she's really not this. And it's like, oh my God, like you really would have to go. I can't think of any other entertainer, seriously, that is universally beloved the way she is. I mean, I'm being serious. Like,
that's real talk. It's like, who doesn't love Dolly Parton?
There's nothing to not like. Even if you don't like her music, you like her. Like, she gave the money so that we could have a vaccine, for crying out loud.
She also has had her book club that she's had for years, that she sent over 100 million free books to kids all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, just like nothing not to like about her.
Yeah, there's nothing not to like.
Yeah, so you have to really be bored, sitting at home one day going, I know, I'm going to be the Grinch and go after Dolly Parton. Well, anyway, she's going to have a Broadway show, and it's going to be groovy. I bet it'll be groovy.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
let me just, it's coming in 2026.
Oh, my God. That's a long time.
But let me just say this. This fall on Broadway,
Audra McDonald's, right?
Is a homosexual bonanza.
All right, first off, I think Broadway is a homosexual bonanza.
No, but sometimes there's a season where it's a true homosexual.
It's truly gay this year. It's like the gayest of the
This
gay.
year is Power Bottom on Fire Island during Gay Pride.
I've only been back to the country and hearing English
where they're handing out lube when you get off the ferry, gay.
Okay, Audra McDonald.
Audra motherfucking McDonald.
We'll stop there.
Gypsy.
Oh, I mean, the only thing gayer than that would be
Nicole Scherzinger in Sunset Boulevard.
Check. Okay.
Michelle Williams and Megan Hilty in Death Becomes Her.
Wait a minute. The actress Michelle Williams, right? The singer Michelle Williams?
Yeah, she's coming back to Broadway.
The Destiny's Child Michelle Williams?
Yes, but you know Michelle has been on Broadway more than once.
No.
Michelle was Aida. Michelle has been Roxy Hart in Chicago. When I was working with her,
I've been Roxy Hart in Chicago.
Michelle did, but she did it when I was working with her. Yes, she did it when I was working with her back, way back. So, like almost, you know what I mean? I haven't been in music world since 2010.
Yay. Anything else?
She was in Fela. I
was in Fela too.
Okay, listen, let's not be kid. But yeah, so that.
Well, good. I thought you meant the actress Michelle Williams.
No, Death Becomes Her is one of my. I love that movie. It's a gay classic with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn.
Right. That is a funny one. That's a really funny movie.
But Audra McDonald coming back as Mama Rose in the Majestic Theater, the first show to come into the Majestic after Phantom of the Opera's 36-year run in that theater.
Audra McDonald can do pretty much anything. So
it's like just give her to Tony. Just give it to her.
Yeah,
just give her to Tony. Just give it to her.
Just, like we don't have
just
time
be like on opening night. Be like, and we preemptively want to give you this, Tony, that you are clearly going to win in June.
Yeah. Here you go. No, really. I mean, she's an amazing. Oh yeah. Yowza. Okay.
Joey Chestnut has been banned from.
Wait, are you like reading the TV?
No, I just wrote because I didn't tell Joey Chestnut something I did not think I would wake up today and read. Joey Chestnut has been banned from the Nathan's hot dog eating contest where he has been a time champion.
Yeah.
Because.
Please tell me it's not performance enhancing drugs.
Because could you imagine? It's even better because he signed an endorsement deal with Impossible and he promotes their plant-based hot dogs. Miss Thing. Yes, I said that. Yes. Miss Thing. It's like I was like,
okay.
I'm sorry. I thought when they were like, he signed for a rival meat brand, I was like, oh my God, he went to Hebrew National.
Right. Oscar Mayer or something.
They're like, he signed a deal with Impossible Foods.
Okay. When your only talent and means of making money is shoving sausages down your fucking mouth, perhaps, Joey, you do not want to endorse vegan weenies. Okay, that's freaking hilarious. That is the funniest thing I've heard next to Roberta Flackistan. You have 2 for 2.
I mean...
What kind of moron is this guy?
Well, he took the money, right? He's been doing it for a lot of years. And, this isn't the competitive eating is a whole circuit that happens around the world.
And only in America.
But Nathan, it's not. It's worldwide.
I know.
But it's like, which is really something. And there's a whole federation and a whole thing. It's a real thing.
It's crazy.
It's kind of crazy. I guess he's just like, listen, I've won Nathan's a gazillion times. He's won it 8 times. I'm going for the check.
All right. So what he's going to be doing is having an Impossible hot dog eating contest?
I have no idea. I guess it's an endorsement deal. So I guess he's promoting it.
I don't like Impossible burgers.
I don't hate an Impossible burger, but I will say this. Every time I've tried,
I like a garden burger better.
Every time I like the Boca burger the best.
Boca burgers are good too.
every time I've tried to have one of the vegan Franks, it's not.
Yeah, I don't want meat that tastes. If I wanted meat, I'd eat meat. Right. I don't need it. Possible. Okay, that literally Joey Chestnut is a freaking bless his heart. That's all I can say. Okay, here's a segue. You missed my segues, didn't you? Mm-hmm. I shouldn't make fun of this. So a woman has accused the Dream, whose actual name is so long, and I'm so jet lagged, I can't even begin to pronounce it. It's an incredibly long name. Terrius is his first name, and then he has a hyphenated last name. She has accused him, a former professional associate of him, of rape. So I don't know. I mean,
what she said is, I will say, because she was an artist.
Coercion, right?
She was an artist who was signed to him, and she said that basically, okay, the allegation is she was pressured into aggressive sex and used his security staff to monitor her movements. She also alleged that he piled her with drugs and alcohol before forcing her to have sex, which she then filmed and threatened to release. She also alleges that he kept a gun close by during sexual encounters. And he's denying, he says it's defamatory, and he opposes all forms of harassment and always strive to help people realize their career goals. So, she's saying that on one occasion at a cinema, she claims he demanded oral sex in front of patrons. After she refused, he forced her into physically painful sex before assaulting her again in his van while pinning her down and making it hard for her to breathe.
I mean, I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true. It wouldn't surprise me if it was.
I gotta say,
I hope it's not true. I've met him. I've interviewed him. He's a really nice guy. He's very smart. He's really talented. That means nothing that he's really smart and really talented. So obviously we know nothing about this.
Right.
I hope it's not true for both of their sakes, because he is a very talented, seemingly good person. And obviously if she is the victim of something, that is horrible. But nothing surprises me. Male behavior, nothing surprises me, to be really honest with you. I mean, nothing. It's a horrible thing to say. I'm not saying it.
Honestly, I'm not even going to just say, man, nothing surprises me from anybody anymore.
Right. But
that's just the truth.
I hope it's not true for everyone's sake.
Yeah, those are pretty serious and shocking allegations. And, we'll see how this plays out.
I mean, people all kind of look the other way with Puffy. I don't think he has. I've never heard anybody say anything negative.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody say anything bad.
He's very low key.
So this feels like this one came out of left field.
And he also hasn't been. I'm not saying this because I really like him. I loved his solo record. That first record of his was really good. But he's not somebody. I mean, has he been doing? He hasn't been super active lately, right? I mean, in terms of
he was on Cowboy Carter. He worked a lot on that album. He's been working with Beyonce a lot. Both Renaissance albums. And all of the things. No, he's been working.
All right.
Who else is in the news who's been accused and is trying to respond to sexual assault is Kehinde Wiley.
Oh yeah, I read that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why this surprises us. I mean, I would venture to say, Courtney, I'm just going to speak it from knowing men and women, heterosexual men, heterosexual. I would venture to say that if you ask your women friends if they've been assaulted in some way, every one of them would say yes.
I've actually had that conversation with some of my female friends. And I will say this, I've heard more yeses than I thought that I would.
Yeah, because we used to think that assault or rape was like some stranger down the alleyway. I can tell you that every woman I know has been in a situation that they didn't want to be in and they couldn't get out because they felt some sort of pressure. So imagine if, and your women friends, I have to assume, are grown and smart and intelligent and independent and aren't dependent on, but yeah, no, it's sad. And I'm glad that we are able to talk about this stuff. And I'm glad that some of the laws have been changed so that people can, I mean, like I said, if the law hadn't been changed about when you can talk about things, Cassie Ventura would never have had the justice that she, and we would never know what's going on with that person who any minute, I mean, I have to assume any minute now something more serious is going to happen with him, right? I mean,
this feels like we're just at the tip of an iceberg of something.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I think he's done. I really do think he's done.
Oh, his reputation is shot. Like,
no, but a career,
shot.
It's done.
That's what I mean. Like, when your reputation is shot, that's it.
I mean, I even think Russell could come back faster than Puffy could. But I think Russell also was smarter and made friends with people who... I just think Russell could come back if he wanted to. I don't think he has any... I don't know. I don't know the guy, but I think Puffy's done. I think he's just, because he's not commercially viable anymore and everybody hates him. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody hates him. Nobody wants to defend him. And unlike a Chris Brown who's still making money for people, see, that's the thing. Puffy doesn't make money for anybody anymore.
Right.
I mean, and he didn't, I love the fact that Howard like took away his honorary degree, which and then canceled. Like what was he going to give them money? And he hadn't even given it to him yet. And they said, forget it. We don't even want it now. He never even gave them the money. It's like such a Trump move, right? Like, I will gladly pay you.
Right, because they were going to pay it back. Then it turns out, I guess he did.
He never even paid it. Like, ugh. All right. Speaking of things that are happening that nobody may care about. At long last, I'm so glad I came back to America for this important event that's going to happen. Yes, it's the Normani record is going to be released this week. Watch it become the biggest goddamn record of the year, and we're going to look like
we're sitting here shitting on it, but it's like, I don't know it. I just
are the kids feeling it?
Neither of the singles have done anything. Neither of the singles have charted.
Nothing.
So I feel like, what does that mean for it? It just took so long.
Yeah. Like I said, her audience is already having children by now. Their own children. It
took so long. And there's again, a record, both singles that have had nothing to support it.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, we both have talked about, especially, I feel like it's been years, really wanting her to win. And so just seeing it happen like this just feels like...
But also, what is the Normani record at this point? You know what I mean? Like, like, what does that even mean? I mean, it's like that she was the one that, I mean, there were like two women I remember that people were kind of all eyes on them. It was her and Tinashe.
But Tinashe is having a hit right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Tinashe,
but she kept
low-key kept going.
Because Tinashe, after she left being on a major, independently kept putting records out, touring, performing, doing collaborations with people, and now it's starting to pay off with this single Nasty, which is great and really picking up steam for her.
She went an interesting route, Tinashe. Yeah. She decided to not try to only go mainstream R&B, and she became kind of the quirky proto-SZA. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be the quirky R&B, though very much in the R&B vein. Yeah, Normani, I'm just trying to think, what is her lane? I mean, at this point, what is her lane? All right.
We will see on Friday.
I know. I can't wait. Please send me. Well, let's set a Google alert when the album comes out. We'll all have a Google alert. Is there a video out for any of this stupid stuff?
No, not yet.
Okay, what is it? Does nobody do First, we used to complain there were too many videos, and now there's no videos.
I believe there is one coming, but it's not out yet.
Can't wait. And the Zayn record did nothing, right? Came and went. There was a Zayn record. Do you remember?
And it's really good, though.
I like it.
But you know what? I feel like?
I don't love it. I feel like he's kind of... He's the best singer out of the lot of them, out of all the guys in that group. To me, he always had the best voice. But I feel like he's trying a little too hard to be like authentic. And it's like, honey, you're not American. You don't have to sound like you grew up in the bayou. But it is a good record.
I also think that...
But it's done, right? The record's done.
To me, I think that that the issue is with that one, they released that record at the wrong time of the year. I think that that's a fall album.
There's no summer hit on it.
It's not. And we're going into summer. The world is crazy. Young people, that kind of energy, who are his fans, they need something else.
What happened to the single that they released like a year ago with him on the motorcycle with the hot Asian girl driving around somewhere?
So
that's not on the album. It's not on the. Yeah, I was like, that's a really great song. Where is that?
And it's very much like, listen, he needs. I wanted this to be a hit for him. I don't know what the streaming is. You know what I mean? I haven't looked at a streaming chart, but it just feels like.
I blame that awful. What's Gigi Hadid's mom's name? She was
Yolanda.
Horrible.
Yolanda.
She was so horrible in Real Housewives. I blame her the worst. I blame her and her see-through refrigerator with the lemons all lined up on one side. She's the worst. No, she's really the worst. She was like out of all, and with her fake Lyme disease. She's horrible.
It wasn't fake Lyme disease. She really had
but
Lyme
it was
disease.
like, I know.
Remember, that was the whole storyline about what they say, Munchausen's, and she was
Munchausen,
like, you said I had Munchausen's.
Yeah, my children. I know. I just look at her and I'm like, I hate.
You know what I actually blame, and you and I have talked about this. There's no marketing in it. People sign to these labels, but there's no real marketing. You may have a product manager, but it doesn't feel like when I had to do marketing plans and have a plan for these records.
They don't plan.
And then they look at TikTok. It feels like, what is TikTok doing? And that's going to dictate how we work this record.
That's totally how it is. They're just going by an algorithm. And I mean, like I said, it's just, you put them on a couple of key shows maybe, and then you put it out. And if there's a dance to
They're not even putting them on key shows anymore. It's just kind of like, stick it out, get stuff done online. They want short form content, but it feels lazy. And then they say that these records fail. It's like, what have you done to support this record?
I think I almost feel like it's priced to sell in a way. Like it cost them so little money to actually make the record that they just put it out. And what someone's idea of success now is so totally different. You know, it's like Sexy Red is touring and doing shows and headlining and having.
That's how you make the money now, because it's not going to be on the streaming, which is why you see everybody have these brand partnerships and doing all of that, because that is the way you're going to make money as an artist, especially if you're not on the road, because you're not making money from streaming. The streaming companies and the labels are making money. Artists are not making their money from streaming.
So they're going to other things. But I mean, from an artistic point of view, it becomes very difficult because it feels more and more like a product every single day. And, touring, I mean.
And recording is expensive for a lot of these artists. Like that Zayn record, the producers he worked with, that's an expensive record.
Yeah.
And
they've done nothing to support it, though.
It feels like nothing.
And that's another one who's got his own lane if he wants it.
And he's at Republic, and this is his
Styles,
but this is his first album at Republic. I'm like, wouldn't you want this to be a hit?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. The other guy, his competition in that lane, Harry Styles, is taking time off. He's gone. Justin Timberlake, who's old enough to be the guy's grandfather at this point, he's done. I mean, we're done with that mofo, thank God. Who else is Zayn's competition? There are no young male singers out there doing that kind of stuff. So he could have had this all for himself.
Well, I think that when he first came out and his first album was a hit, but he had all of the anxiety and didn't perform, and he let it go. And I've said this before and I believe it. When you have a group and everybody wants to have solo careers, if one person becomes a superstar in the group, that slot is taken. They never let two people be superstars in a group. Now, two people from a group can have successful recording careers. Huge. But if one makes it to that Mount Olympus first, then everybody else is always kept in a certain area.
That's going to be interesting to see as we Nostradamus and the caffeine starts wearing off, when a next Harry Styles record's going to come. That'll be interesting because he has carte blanche, I would imagine.
He's probably making his record now.
But he's got like a really cute, he's got like a really talented, cute girlfriend now. So he's probably just enjoying, in England, like an English girlfriend.
Is she English? Because he's been in New York a lot.
Because she was in a play in New York at the
why do you know all of this?
I am a cultured bitch.
I'm like, why do you know about Harry Styles' girlfriend and where?
Because I really wanted to see that play because a friend of mine knows somebody who works at the Shed, and we were trying to get comp tickets, but then because she was in a play with that incredibly great actor who was in the Michaela Cole, Michaela Cole show.
Which one? Chewing Gum?
No, the other one. The guy, the one who played her friend.
What was it? We shall be destroyed.
I shall destroy you.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Harry Styles' girlfriend is Taylor Russell, I believe her name is. Okay. Taylor Russell was in a play with that guy.
Oh, he goes out with Taylor Russell?
Yes.
I had no idea.
That's why I'm here. But I wanted to say because I love that actor. He's an British African actor who's phenomenal. His name is like
Papa or something, right? Papa Isu.
Yeah, Papa. Yeah, he's great. But anyway, yes, he's dating Taylor Russell. So he's dating an age-appropriate actress this time without kids and a crazy ex-husband. All right. I have not been listening to much of anything, though I did go to a concert, like I said, in the Yeah,
I didn't expect you to come back and be like, oh my God, let me tell you what I was listening to the entire time.
But you know what I actually did? Because I had 13 hours on a plane to listen to music because the movies, A, weren't working on my thing, and B,
that's horrible.
Well, and they hadn't gotten a new movie since 1926, so it's okay. They were basically all silent movies or movies in Russian with dubbing. I started. I have to go back because I had a couple songs from Extraordinary Machines on my playlist.
Oh, that's such a good one to revisit.
I got
a really good Fiona Apple album.
God, I mean, all her stuff is good, but man, her vocals on that.
I've seen her live a few times from the beginning, a small showcase to the last time I saw her live was when she toured that album, and that was just spectacular.
The production on that record, that's John Bryan on all that stuff, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but it is just, I was listening to Old Sailor. I'm like, God, this is a good song.
I love Well, Red, all of that.
I like all of her albums, but I haven't listened to this album in a really long time. So
and I have both versions of that album. Do you have both versions?
That's right.
Because it was her version and she loved the instrumentation and the label hated it, and then they wanted edited it and
they wanted like a different producer to come in.
And so then she gave into that, but then she released Free. The album the way that she wanted it to be. I love both, but I love her version the most. It's so good.
She's so good.
Yeah.
To me. Mm-hmm. Anyway, would you like to take us out of here?
Yeah, you know it is. We're back. Amy's back. It's Pride Month. It's also our 5th anniversary month.
What kind of gay stuff are you doing? Like what shows?
Well, I'm performing my upcoming single called Poppers on this weekend.
Poppers don't preach?
on St. Nicholas and 140th. So if you want to come outside, it'll be me and Nike and a cup.
Who's the big show this year? Cynthia Erivo? Is that the big show?
You know what? I'm so disconnected.
I saw an ad that she's performing somewhere.
I have no idea who's doing any of the things because I don't think they do the big Pride pier dance anymore. I don't think that. I think it all kind of happened where the pier dance used to just go down to the pier. Now everything happens at like those islands up there, but I have no idea who's performing.
Because I saw something. I saw a picture of her. I bet Cindy does something.
I didn't see her slated for anything.
Yeah, she did. Well, she did,
and she doesn't do all the Pride. She did LA. That's the thing. She did West Hollywood Pride.
Oh, okay.
So she was there. Well, listen, I think that for me, Pride is about just staying connected to all my brothers, and we're gonna all try to see each other and just check in on each other, and just be grateful that we're all still here. And on that note, you know what the deal is. Tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell a tubby, and
Telegram.
Leave a rating, leave a star, tell other things. Thank you for listening to us every week on the Pantheon Podcast Network, the #1 music podcast network globally. And we will see you on ImmaLetYouFinish, our Facebook page. ImmaLetYouFinish podcast on TikTok.
Behave, everybody.
ImmaLetYouFinish.
Don't make me check. I had to check in from a foreign country. once again to be Sister Mary Amy and behave.
Is that why? And
behave. Just behave.
I think that person.
Do you see how I phrased it?
I think that person unfollowed the pages, and I noticed the count went down 1.
Yeah, I do it very kindly. I do.
You're better than me because you know me. I'm always like, listen.
What I do is I throw a lot of like meaningless but well-intentioned words in there. Like it's like when I'm trying to basically tell my students that I know that you plagiarized this paper, but I can't come out and say it.
Right.
So I go, if you think I've reached this conclusion in error, everybody behave. We're not gonna refer to no global politics when talking about the new Dua Lipa record. We're just going to keep them separate. And just remember, at the end of the day, me and Courtney are always right.
And that's it. We'll see you next week. Bye.